I want to talk to you about the UK freedom movement. You might have seen it on Facebook, on Twitter, you might have found the website, you might have found it on YouTube. What is the UK freedom movement about? Well, the title really says it all. It's about freedom in the UK. First of all, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to change your religion, and freedom of assembly, freedom of conscience, and freedom of thought. We at the UK freedom movement believe that all those three freedoms are not just under threat, under attack, but they are being rolled back systematically by the state. So we're going to oppose that, and we're going to expose these attacks on freedom that have been taking place for a long time now, but are getting more and more severe as time goes on. We're also going to expose where those attacks come from. So we believe freedom's under threat in the UK, and that is not acceptable to British people who have fought for freedom for many, many hundreds of years. So freedom is the first point, or principle. The second principle is equality, and not the sort of equality that's pushed by what would be known as identitarians, or people who are involved in identity politics, either on the far left or on the far right. We want everyone in the UK to be equal before the law, equally amenable to the law and equal before the law. And also, we want people in every single community in the UK to be treated as equals, irrespective of gender or religious belief or colour of skin. People must be treated as equals. There must be no hierarchy. Everybody must be treated exactly the same by the law. We must all be accountable to the law, and we must all be equally protected by the law. Thirdly, democracy. Democracy in the UK is under huge attack. At the moment, we've got the tumult over Brexit. And the reason there's a tumult over Brexit is because our elected politicians, who we supposedly democratically elected to the House of Parliament, are refusing to obey the will of the British people and are refusing to carry out the orders that the British people gave them in 2016. And those orders were very simple: to leave the European Union, not to stay in a customs union, not to stay in the European Union in any way, shape or form. And there's all sorts of back deals been going on. There's all sorts of skullduggery been going on by people in very, very high positions of power. This is totally unacceptable. It must stop, and we must call out the people in the UK who are undermining the democracy. Some of them are very senior civil servants. Some of them are very senior politicians. Some of them are very senior media figures. We must call these things out. And finally, the last thing is sovereignty. The UK surrendered its sovereignty when it joined the European Union. That must be rolled back. It is totally, totally unacceptable for the UK, the sovereign government of the UK, to be controlled by external powers. And that's exactly what's happening. As long as we're a member of the European Union, and as long as we're tied to the European Union, our sovereignty is controlled by forces outside of the British state. That must stop, and full sovereignty must be returned to the UK. But as well as full sovereignty, the clamour for breaking up the United Kingdom must also stop. It's unacceptable that groups in Scotland and Wales and Northern Ireland want to plunge the United Kingdom into a constitutional crisis. The territorial integrity of the United Kingdom must be set in stone, and it must not change. So they're the principles of the UK freedom movement. If you're interested, join our Facebook pages, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter, and visit our website, ukfreedommovement.org.uk. I think we can change this country. It won't be done through one political party, but it could be done through a mass movement of millions of people who believe in the four principles that I've just outlined. And those principles must be adopted by all the political parties of the United Kingdom, because people talk about British values. Those principles are British values. Follow the UK Freedom Movement, join the UK Freedom Movement. We're going to be opening regional branches throughout the United Kingdom. We're not a political party. There is no joining fee. We are a movement, and a movement that I believe can change the future of the United Kingdom. Join us today.